as well, who wants to play super far away. This Sylas is going to struggle to get onto the back line, which is where he's strongest, and especially when you've already got to try and battle your way through an Ornn, through a Trundle, it feels like you're going to have really difficult time as EDG trying to get Xiaoxiang and Jiejie into these favorable positions for fights.
We'll say though, Sylas will have a subjugate for Kingen. Sylas also have Kingen's ulti. I'm curious as to what he does with the options available. The only one we expect not to see is probably FoFo and maybe Wings. So let's run through into it because it's for BLG a bit of a difficult position. Facing elimination here with Coach Sim and Clearlove bowing to each other. And it is BLG day, by the way. That's why we had the Gyos before. That's why we'll have them again. It's all about BLG, just not inside the Rift.
Oh, we'll have to see how both these teams will fare when we get onto the Rift. EDG battling to keep their hopes alive, as are BLG, who are already one down in this series, and now desperately need to find that win to put themselves towards a game number 3 and keep their playoff dreams, as slight as they are, alive. Well,
at the very least, we talked about the mid lane matchup, we talked about jungle. Running into the series, it still definitely feels like Scout and FoFo will be highlighted here once again. Scout and his Syndra running into game number 2. The Syndra that carried, the Syndra that got MVP. Scout absolutely destroyed BLG in that first game towards those fights, and we'll see if it happens again running into Summoner's Rift for the second game and for match point for Edward Gaming. Someone had the television. BLG Day is maybe a fitting way to tip your hat and leave the summer split. As a bit of a bushfire on Summoner's Rift. For anyone who doesn't know, in the fires in Australia in December that absolutely ravaged Australia, that was the color of the sky for about a month. It was pretty horrible, actually. And for anyone who has asthma, namely me, it was also a very bad time, but also just imagine the devastation it caused as we run onto a devastating rift. So,
can I just say, that's the way to start off. Here's death and destruction.
It's very real.
And then, hey, look, let's move on to the rift.
It is very real. Very, very real. We apologize to any of the fans who are unfortunately going through stream issues at the moment, but running into game number 2.
Yeah, look, either way, as you pointed out, FoFo opting in towards the Summon Airy. So there's a couple of builds that you can go with the Zoe, at least when it comes to the rune choices. Unsealed Spellbook has been the main one for a while, but we did see the nerfs coming into Spellbook on 9.15, where that early game power that you get isn't quite there anymore. So instead, FoFo going back towards El Clasico, where he ends up taking the Summon Airy, where you can do super well in these lanes, providing a bit of extra poke, doing a lot of work. And you're not so much trying to burst someone out super quick like an Electrocute, where you 100 to 0 someone. Instead, you're focused more on just getting these short burst rates.
There's actually a little death sentence to force out the heal. The trade around from BLG is strong as well, though, to get the heal out of Hope. 2 summoners gone for BLG, 1 for EDG. Now, you were just mentioning here how the area affects. We're getting a closer look into what's being taken in the pool with Nimbus Cloak and the Transcendence. Plus, of course, we're going the late game here for FoFo.
Yeah, with the Gathering Storm. And you still get access, obviously, going Inspiration to the likes of the Minion Dematerializer, which is where some of the wave push that Zoe has will come through, although obviously Paddle Star is just a great tool at getting through these mid-waves. So we'll have to see how this game starts to go forward. If FoFo can find these kind of one-shot pops onto EDG and try and push them back, whittle the health bar down, and then find the numbers advantage for BLG in these fights.
Yeah, starting with an Infernal Dragon here in this game number 2, though. Well, we go back up to top side for Kingen versus Xiaoxiang. The Sylas comes back in, why not?
So many cancelled autos from Kingen there. Not quite able to get onto Xiaoxiang to get that grasp, but still, here we go, actually.
Great timing. Face breaker. It's available. Jiejie's waiting. Syrian Charge used the Bellows Breath. Flash over the wall. Matched here with a Haymaker. So well played from Jiejie to get first blood.
Fantastic job. And again, it just looks like every time we see an Ornn, EDG or even BLG in the last game are happy to try and put the pain there. Jiejie.
Just going to execute. Means he does keep the buffs. Yep. Okay. All right. Was not going to give anything over to BLG. So that's a fast back. And in 5 seconds, he'll be up and available again.
And Xiaoxiang here as well, because that wave has been held off. Xiaoxiang will push in this wave just a little bit, Not quite able to push it in the full way, though, so he will still have to use his teleport if he does want to back here, but I think he's perfectly happy to hang on for this just a moment, as it is only a ruby crystal that's actually the difference maker here when it comes to starting items. Oh, great hook from Meiko.
Dagda, I'm choking a little bit here. Maybe it's because Wings is as well, as he gets flashed on top, and Hope will get the kill. XinMo into grey health, but he gets flayed back, and there's no way he escapes from this. Has the flash, but not going to use it, and Hope with a double kill on the bottom lane is a great way for EDG to start this game with the lead they found top
That
side.
was sick from Meiko. That hook just in behind the creeps, catching the edge of the hitbox for Wings and shutting down that entire play. And especially as you're looking, like, how difficult that actually is to try and get a kill against Tahm Kench. Like, his entire kit is set up to not get kills. For them to be able to make that play happen was so good from EDG.
And now the lead begins. We've got a lane that's pushing in towards that Caitlyn. Carl picked up here for Hope as well. And just about a 1,400 gold lead and then some for EDG in this early game.
And the worst thing that can happen to Wings as well is being set behind as a Caitlyn, because now Hope, with having that extra little bit of attack speed, can do a much better job of shoving out the wave. That was amazing for Meiko.
Minion.
And I mean, XinMo, like, there's nothing that he can really do here. Everything's gone awry. He goes that little bit too far forward. Can't even get the stun onto Meiko, where maybe with that tongue lash, he can actually turn that around. Tahm Kench has a decent chunk of damage off that tongue lash, especially when he does get the acquired taste. But unfortunately, cannot finish him off. And means EDG get a nice two-kill start in that bottom lane.
I mean, we got 3 with the top side. We got pressure through mid that we just saw as well. BLG trying to match towards this bottom side with the Infernal being the first dragon. There is the third scuttle of the game spawning down there as well.
Just want to go back real quick to this bottom lane. I'm actually surprised XinMo didn't opt for the minion dematerializers in this lane, because Wings, the whole idea, as pointed out every time we've seen Caitlyn so far, is getting through these towers, pushing in super aggressively. That's why the 2 AD buff, although is kind of small, like, it does actually help in her clearing out waves a little bit quicker, especially when you get that Piltover Peacemaker through. It's super nice. Not being able to get onto the structures because there's Meiko consistently getting rid of these cannons makes it really tough. And then we got a hook again.
XinMo gets played on in with a grey health. XinMo's down to a little bit below half, even with the healing up from the passive. Hope running forward, and I'll tell you one thing, now that approach velocity's back in the game, feels pretty good as Hope.
And this is what I was talking about. So Hope has the movement speed, obviously from the boots, but also the attack speed, which makes it more obnoxious to try and escape. They can quickly clear out these waves, which means Wings can't push underneath the tower already. But because XinMo doesn't have the minion dematerializer, they can quickly get rid of these cannons. Meiko has his own to get rid of that cannon minion, and they can just shove in super effectively. Potentially look for a dive here.
I mean, it's a Sett. We know how good he is at diving, or at least poke his head around this pit.
Meteor was there.
Yeah.
They didn't really want to go too hectic, but Meteor, the fact he has to sit here in case something happens is already a win for EDG, as long as EDG don't get caught.
Death Sentence connects, and even seeing Meteor, they might just walk this out. Volley through as well. And Hope just stands here comfortably. There's already about a 5 CS lead as this wave gets cleared down. But for EDG, all the cards in their hand.
It is unfortunate that EDG can't use this pressure from Hope and Meiko to actually get a dragon that was already taken by BLG earlier, but they can still work their way fairly happily through these terror plates.
Meiko showing he sometimes does miss, but comes ever so close. These hooks have been pretty amazing as this is happening. Bit of a dive. I believe Meteor spotted him out. There is a level difference. Subjugate available. Could be good, but Death Sentence, he just walks on in. Meteor decided to stay there. Enchanted Arrow, 2-man face breaker into the mouth of a dead Tahm Kench, who flashes away with one more auto, which Meiko secures. He is dead as Jiejie survives only just with FoFo joining in, but Scatter the Weak, unleash power onto FoFo, not enough kill pressure. It is a trade for BLG, which being this far behind is a good start.
The red buff will still go over, and I'm very surprised that play was successful, because as Jiejie went for the Hex Tech flash over the wall, he actually got spotted on that control ward. That was what the toggle vision was from our observers. But it meant that Meteor just sat there knowing full well that EDG were in that play.
With a Thresh.
And again, I don't wonder if we'll get to see it. So yeah, you can see JJ's here. So why Meteor thinks it's a good idea to stand in vision of that bush is completely beyond.
I think, you know, to take away a bit of flame for Meteor, there's a small little angle you can hit on that red buff. that you can hide behind vision. He thought he was safe. That feels very unfortunate, but it is fortunate that FoFo was able to pick up a kill. And Scout doesn't have enough damage with that Unleashed power this early in the game, so he manages to get away. And picking up a kill here in the mid lane. We saw it in game 1. FoFo was a treasure to BLG. This game, again, he could be too with a situation that started off.
And oftentimes, that is the situation we find ourselves in, where FoFo is actually the one trying to hold the game together for BLG, as potentially might throw trouble. Yeah.
Trouble's there. Meiko beside him. Might just block away this paddle star. Gets a death sentence cleansed away. But that was indeed a fake cleanse from FoFo.
It will mean that, look, FoFo's still trying to make plays happen. EDG, though, feeling comfortable enough to try and start up towards this Rift Herald. They do have at least Meiko in that mid. Scout is here as well, but they need to be kind of careful at the moment.
Looking up towards the top side as Searing Charge comes through. That's because Herald is being flushed between these two junglers. And Hope just having a great time with Wings in the meanwhile with a 20 CS lead and Cutlass in hand. He is actually walking up himself as Fake Call the Forge God used. That's not a Kingen that does pretty much nothing. But here comes Meteor Dagda. Call the Forge God will be lined up as well. Gone Duck flashes away. And Meteor says, howdy, here I am.
Actually kind of funny that Xiaoxiang looks like he's getting caught between the two Sylas builds. He's got 3 points in his W, whereas usually just max the Q fully on this Sylas with fleet footwork, so not going to have as much of that damage in the Q, but it doesn't really matter too much at the end of the day. Either way, still going to have EDG setting up for this for this Rift Herald. Wings is sticking down the bottom lane. He realized, look, I've only got a pickaxe to the Cutlass and that big impactful ultimate of Hope. AD carries are very much in favor of EDG when it comes to the damage, so EDG will be able to pick up this Rift Herald.
The bottom lane actually backed as well during the Rift Herald play. I like it. Knowing that BLG didn't have any vision there, they could safely do it. Jiejie picks up this first Herald in the game as Ocean Dragon now spawns, and we're looking at a big bottom wave that's being missed by Hope. Bit of experience, bit of gold down the drain, but still the Herald play will net a positive for EDG.
That's I mean, it's not the end of the world. They do manage to pick up a good chunk of that wave, and they've already got 20 CS advantage for Hope. But nice at least for BLG to deny some of that. Xiaoxiang, I thought, might have moved down to try and pick that up, but that's not going to be the case. Either way, though, EDG now in a good position here to go towards this next Ocean and try and start racking some of these dragons up in their favor.
We're going to get a Cloud Soul again, or a Mountain Rift. You do not want to give away a Mountain Rift to a team like BLG. That is definitely going to be a bit strong. For EDG, they could use some of it themselves, so they'll start this one up. No contest. And let's get those dice handy. Yeah, better than the Cloud Rift for sure.
Most certainly is. So Mountain is going to do, as he said, really good for BLG, but also EDG, because their front line is going to struggle a little bit. As we start to go on, FoFo and Wings are going to be in a great spot to just outrange EDG in a lot of situations. Even when it's Scout trying to get like a sneaky Scout of the Week like now, he's not quite going to be able to deal with the range that FoFo can play at, Wings can play at, and then you've still got to get through Kingen, Meteor, and in case you even manage to get something like an Enchanted Crystal Arrow through, you still have XinMo on this Tahm Kench. So trying to set up fights as EDG is going to be really, really tough. And that's where I'm a little bit worried, because I don't know how EDG, especially when they haven't got the stronger scaling team, are going to be able to fight very hard. Especially as it's a 2,000 gold lead for EDG at the moment, but they haven't exactly snowballed crazily out of control.
Dependence play bot. Jiejie still has the Rift Herald in hand, wants to give it over to Hope. It'll be placed down, and Wings and XinMo sticking around because Meteor and FoFo are on their way down. Jiejie on a bit of supervision towards that enemy jungle. Scout gets Scout of the Week. Onto Meteor, gets the phase rush. Unleashed power is available, cleanses away. Ulti's in, Enchanted Crystal Arrow, but EDG are way too far away as he gets stunned up for a lifetime. Turret doesn't go down bot either, so EDG really threw some haymakers out, but did not get everything they wanted.
A lot of gold still goes the way of Hope because they did get all those turret plates, so still Hope has been set up to at least have a decent carry performance in this game.
Oh, Trouble Bubble landed onto Scout. He's low. Jiejie here, but FoFo low on mana. Kingen even roamed down for Call the Forge God, but will not throw it out either.
So, I want to look at when do these teams come online? Because right now, Xiaoxiang has gone towards that GLP. This is the point in the game where Xiaoxiang wants to make plays happen. This is the point where he wants to be TPing, he wants to be getting into fights, he wants to make sure that he's using this spike that the GLP offers you at the strongest point in time. When you look at Scout as well, just about to finish off, well, almost able to finish Luden's Echo, not quite at that point just yet. Hope has his Blade of the Rune King completed. This one-item spike across the board for EDG is crazy strong, and they want to be getting fights now, like the Rift Tower that's going to be spawning in about 2 minutes, like also down towards this Dragon that's at about 2:30. This is how EDG can look to snowball this game and snowball the advantages that they have. On BLG's side, though, because Wings is going for this Infinity Edge build into the double Zeal, that means that he's going to be, you know, the 3 items before this Caitlyn's really a nuisance. FoFo can try and carry it before that stage.
Hey, that landed. Wow, box put down and dead. Nice coordination from the solo laners of BLG.
And great because, hey, you're just getting some gold back. You're slowing down EDG because we just said EDG are the team that wants to snowball. They're the team that wants to push this advantage that they have. And if there's less members of EDG in the map, it's a lot harder to do that.
Well, Hope, meanwhile, though, will still pick up this turret. That's the first turret of the game. Picked up in 15 minutes, so even though there's a pick for BLG, we have to see what happens next. As Xiaoxiang going to be dodging away from Licky Tongue, who's moved up to Wings on the top side of the map. Meteor has control as well, so for Xiaoxiang, he has to pay the respect as BLG are threatening. But with Scout back end out in mid, he should be able to clear this in the end.
I'm just thinking, like, after you said Lickitung, a shiny Lickitung, I suppose, would look a little bit like XinMo on the Tahm Kench right now.
What color? Shiny Lickitung green, I think, though.
Oh, is it?
I'm pretty sure it's green. His original's pink. Has anyone got a shiny Lickitung?
I'll trade you.
I trade you. I trade you my RP.
I don't even have any RPs.
100 RP for a shiny Lickitung. Depends. Depends the quality. I don't want to look. Hey, we're people LCK on at the moment. Pokemon there. Here, we talk about Digimon. Yeah.
Oh God.
Dude, the PS1 game. People know what I'm talking about. The one that was an arena. That was sick. That was actually sick.
I remember the Yu-Gi-Oh PS1 game, the one with like the Pharaoh, and there was like 2 different
with the
timelines.
Pharaoh.
It's like you got the Pharaoh Yu-Gi-Oh, and then you've got the later on, and then you'd have like some crazy combo that would come out every so often from the AI, but FoFo actually in trouble.
Yeah, he's in so much trouble. The host is going to come down and channel across the arrows there. He doesn't explain available, but eaten up. TP in the middle of the fight with 4 of EDG stacked up. They're waiting for this as Kingen gets scattered the weak. It's a 3-man. Running forward is Jiejie, ready to face breaker as TP used by BLG as well, and Hope gets burnt down. A big threat right now with Call the Forge God layering up in the jungle, but it hits wide. Jiejie ready to re-engage, and BLG are still posturing aggressively.
That's what we talked about from BLG, though, is how good they are at dissuading these engagements.
Forward they go. 3-man scatter the weak once again, though, and Jiejie runs in. Call the Forge God that was stolen is so much better. EDG can just run forward because everything was perfect. Hope has this fight to himself. And that was absolutely the sexiest play I've seen today.
I was just saying BLG did a good job of dissuading that engagement. XinMo showing, hey, look, Enchanted Crystalaro, scatter the weak. I can gobble up who's ever that unfortunate soul, pull them to safety, and then BLG can look to poke and prod with Wings, set themselves up where you've got this trap line. I was about to say, BLG, you found the fight, and then they run directly into Xiaoxiang, who steals the Call of the Forge God. A great scatter of the week into Jiejie. Set up, and from that point forward, it's EDG all the way.
A Scout Syndra needs to be respected. It's much like his Zoe. It's a pick that he shouldn't have access to. It's so easy when you know how, is what he shouts out with that fight. Level lead, a kill in the back pocket. Almost those 2 items, and Hope was already fed. He got access to that fight, and he cleaned up the rest. So now for EDG, we're at a 3K gold lead at 18 minutes. Access to this next Rift Herald. And remember, we've got a Mountain Soul on the Rift, so with this team that's snowballing out of control, it's going to be so hard to kill people like Jiejie, even Xiaoxiang you mentioned before, who will end up stacking some of these resistances as well. And this Herald, as it goes down, now we've got more lanes to abuse.
I want to see EDG use this Rift Herald. This is the the lane that they're really going to struggle with, especially with Caitlyn having the pills over Peacemaker. She can clear out waves super easily. And even against FoFo as well, it can be super difficult to crack open that mid lane structure. And that's the bastion where BLG can hold on to as long as possible, look to poke, make sure that you're not able to have EDG encroach their vision into the BLG side of the jungle.
Vision, something that BLG have always been a absolute testament to here in the LPL. EDG kind of similar value as Hex Flash being used over the wall. FoFo in a bit of trouble. Showstopper used. Scout of the week with Unleashed Power. Let's use the ult first. And Scout picks up his second kill. Really nicely done from the jungle mid duo. And this is what we talked about, Dagda. The influential matchup is in favor of EDG.
And Meteor's not able to do very much. He's on a Trundle, and Wings doesn't provide any sort of CC. Same with XinMo. They need Kingen.
Hope interrupted midway. That pillar was nice, but a little bit too late, unfortunately, from Meteor. So Hope gets out.
And that's where the whole play shuts down. BLG can't turn around. It's a kill going the way of Scout. You've now lost a bunch of minions to that topside turret as well, as Wings is going to go over. And, wow, actually maybe not just help Meteor clear this jungle, but you're still losing creeps to this topside tower. And EDG are getting these gold advantages, this experience advantage. And now they're looking to crack open potentially that mid lane turret, but they're going to hold off for it.
Hope will have Renans on this back as well. He's already got the double dagger as well as the Zeal. So 2-item Ashe on the horizon versus Wings on the Caitlyn, who's still 1.5 himself. On the lethal tempo 80 carry. And again, we've been talking about this all day. We've just seen Caitlyn after Caitlyn every single game so far. In a total of 4. This pick has been rising through. And Lux got banned this time around, so XinMo was forced to go on this Tahm Kench, which has been a bit of a struggle in this lane. 0-3 now as a QSS, because he's sick of getting arrowed down and being the target in these fights.
It also just means you have less options on the side of EDG to try and lock people up, but we'll have to see how this does actually impact stuff moving forward. But yeah, XinMo is very much like, okay, maybe I can tank the arrow, maybe I can tank some of the CC, and then still be there to help out BLG. But look, I think coming into this, we've still got to remind folks that this is both these squads playing for that playoff contention, at least the chance of keeping that miracle run alive. And right now, EDG are looking like the team that deserves playoffs a lot more. Their map play has been much smoother. Jiejie and Scout have been working so damn well together. And now, in a minute, we've got this next dragon coming up too, which EDG can look to punish with Rift Herald by creating that pressure mid-artificially, thanks to that Rift Herald.
I know fans are the most critical ones. Fans of EDG are the most critical of their own team. That's how it works. A lot of fans will say that EDG do not deserve playoffs. So far this split, that has been pretty true, but if they can make the miraculous run, if FPX and WE aren't able to pick up their 9th win, then there is certainly a chance. Throw bubble does land, but Dragon's not up for 40 seconds, so EDG have no sense of urgency to walk into this river. They're just holding mid for now. As there's that Herald you talked about. As Hope continues to clear the way. And FoFo, the hope of BLG in this game, will try and poke him down. Herald doesn't get the turret, meanwhile. The wave will reset. 20 seconds to the Dragon.
I think it was used a little bit early by EDG. Could have held off a little bit longer, forced BLG to deal with that Rift Turn as you're in the middle of taking Dragon. But either way, they still got control of River, which is the important part. And BLG, grouped as 5, trying to poke out Hope.
They kill Hope. That's big, but Scatter the Week comes in once again onto XinMo. Fake call, the Forge God. Real one layers down. A nice death sentence, but for EDG, the damage not out yet. Trundle is onto the Sett jungle, but they turn onto Hope, who's 1v5ing with the rest of EDG and River. Scatter the Week, great again. Death sentence lands. Hope gets hit out with the traffic cone in the side, and Kingen, with no knock up on the Searing Charge, means no fight there. Scout lines up again, the Scatter the Week. Unfortunate, as Death sentence forces out the QSS. XinMo didn't even get hit, but presses the button anyway, and BLG is so low. But EDG are as well. Again, FoFo the Hope, trying to poke them down. And
Kingen with a brave recall there, but we'll get that TP off, which means he will be coming in nice and healthy to a low EDG.
BLG won't be here in time. Kingen the only one behind the pit, while the rest of BLG are going towards the top side. And Kingen's like, boys, I'll steal it with Q. Close call, but now sole point for EDG.
It's weird for BLG, though, to have Kingen back, TP in, and then not try and take the fight after. So a little bit of miscommunication coming in from BLG, where they're not quite all on the same page. And BLG are struggling in this game to actually try and set up the composition as they want. This is the team that wants to play at range. They want to try and make sure that they're playing at arm's length against Xiaoxiang coming in, against Jiejie coming in. But a lot of the times where we start to see FoFo get that poke, where they're starting to make it look difficult for EDG, they try and aggress too early and give EDG the chance to get advantages back.
At the very least, if BLG want to win this game, FoFo's got to carry this one. You got to carry it home and bring us to a game 3. 2 items on the Zoe with the Banshee's Veil. He's got to poke down and kill Hope.
Or at least carry it until
Or
Wings
scout.
is relevant, right?
Yeah.
Because you've got the IE, you got that Rapid Fire, Runin's Hurricane will be the next for Wings, and that's where Caitlyn's damage is finally relevant with the style of build that Wings is going for. So still a bit of time, still got to wait for BLG to come online. And as we said, I mean, look, you can start getting a Molten Edge on towards that Caitlyn, then she's really a pain to deal with. But time is not of the essence here, or time is of the essence for BLG because they don't have a huge amount left.
Well, got a bit of range available. I feel sad that, you know, we see Wings second game in a row pull out this Caitlyn, but not as successful as someone like Light from LNG in the previous series.
I'm kind of sad that we don't see the builds that are coming in EU and NA, which is the triple BF or even double BF builds.
And to reiterate for the audience, of course, solo queue at the moment where this is heavily being played in 10-15. This is the first time in competitive in this split that we've seen it. The Scout takes a troll ball again. FoFo on the edge of glory. And he's waiting. What's the rest of the lyrics?
I can't remember.
On the edge of glory. Yeah, that one. Is that a Lady Gaga song?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Her real name is Stephanie, I found out
a
couple of years ago. What a nice name. Yeah. Lady Stephanie Gaga. No, that's not really a name. She's got a real name. I should probably stop singing in future. I don't know. See, this is what happens, you know? You enable me to do things. Once upon a time, it was Raz who kept me chained up. He said, Hysterics, you don't say that. No singing.
Yeah.
And
I'm like, go on, do it.
And no, I've done my singing today. I've done my vocal warm-up. But with Clement would just be like, oh, God, please stop. That wasn't a good Clement impression, but, you know.
It was fairly on the mark, to be honest. At least. Yeah,
I don't think it sounded anything like him. Oh, boy. Yeah, Raz, shout out to him. As doing a lot of things. I'm like a freak bad, you know. We broke up last year. And ever since, I've been on my...
You've been on your wayward journey.
Yeah, my wayward journey.
Hey, look, don't let people hold you back.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is I want to give you motivation to be your own man. You know, just take on the world in your own unique manner.
I do. I think I do. You know what really got me excited waking up this morning? Of course, LoL Esports put out an announcement that Worlds is happening. Yeah. How exciting is that? Because the fact is, everyone was a little bit nervous. They're like, man, Worlds might not be going on, but announcing that and saying next year they're coming here as well.
Exactly, and I think that's fair. I mean, look, obviously it's not going to be the whole shindig with the tour and everything like that that you would expect.
Worlds is a shindig.
It is a shindig.
Oh, yeah, kind of.
But it's like you don't expect, you're not going to be able to get that tour where you kind of go across a bunch of different places in China, obviously with the whole situation going on. So instead, it's like, okay, cool, we'll do it in Shanghai, we'll have this bubble system going, and then next year we can actually do the proper tour of China, and then move into NA come 2021 or 2022.
Troll bubble landing. Hope getting burnt out again. You mentioned Wings before, now actually a bit more relevant with the Molten Edge. BLG are grouping up mid, and it's 45 seconds before the Mountain Soul is available for EDG. In Game 1, BLG were very good at denying that Soul point, up until EDG found that Miracle Fight. So we're aiming towards it. 30 seconds left to go.
I want to see BLG take this slow, though. Get your poke from Meteor, from FoFo. Use the rapid fire cannon that's there on Wings. Get some damage down first before you go for the big push.
Hope walks forward instead, though. FoFo doesn't get his burst down. Redemption being used to heal them back up to full. Traps laid out quite nicely. EDG are walking through this choke, but Xiaoxiang has a stolen Call the Forge Goddess. FoFo's Trouble Bubble needs to land. Jojo's having a bit of a fury punches with Kingen. Searing Charge used. Meteor on his way. Parking Cone once again, but they're into the tank. The Death Sentence lands with Fox. BLG are in the choke themselves, but Xiaoxiang with his flank position right into the middle. Kingen's ulti delays time here as EDG's top laner now. Not in the greatest one. has to walk away with his flash. But Dragon's going to be started, low health bars across the board.
And this is the soul. This is where EDG can try and put themselves towards that 4th dragon. FoFo over the wall.
But top laners went back to heal up and TP in. Going to be the same here for EDG. But TP needs to burn now because Kingen is in first. Xiaoxiang off of the wing, won't have his ulti either. Trundle Bubble is on top of this ward. They'll hit as FoFo wants to poke him down. At half health while the Dragon goes over to EDG. Showstopper in the backline. Jiejie nails them down with the haymaker and Kingen's just dead. This security of the Dragon Soul means so much wrong for BLG as they're down a man. Forward goes Meiko with the flash. And his Thresh this game has beyond sickening here against BLG. They'll run backwards. And EDG might now just turn their head towards Baron.
With low health bars across the board for BLG, they will do just that. You've got damage on Hope, Jiejie, Xiaoxiang, who can easily get through this Baron. And even though we said BLG in draft, they're the composition that has the late game scaling, can kite back, can play at range to EDG. EDG consistently find these flanks, find these plays to get the team fight victory.
We're on the verge of 2-0 here, Dagda. EDG are looking fine, in form, and ready to knock out BLG for the summer split. Both teams 5 and 8, but after today, one rises ahead to make that near impossible run. EDG look fulfilled, happy. They look like they're ready to sing here in this second game. And with Mountain Soul in the back pocket, Scout feeling comfortable. Kings are getting spammed down. Scout might be in a bit of trouble as he looks to take away the Scuttle Crab, but will be stolen by FoFo. That's a small win, however small.
And at the end of the day, doesn't really matter. It's not like you're going to be using that river area for a Baron because it's already gone the way of EDG, but here's the play that set everything up. Great engage from Jiejie. 3 members of BLG caught up in that damage.
Meiko flayed or something, because the Searing Charge was interrupted for the double knockup. I mean, maybe that could have been the difference maker, but you're right, you know, it was about Jiejie in that fight. A sick ultimate, the follow-through was amazing too. And Dagda, we got a Baroned up EDG, and they need to go somewhere.
And that's straight into the base of BLG. EDG setting up vision in this bot side jungle. You already have Xiaoxiang prepping that wave on bot side. Now, the big thing for BLG is that they actually have a heap of wave clear, but it does struggle against that Baroned up minion wave because you can't get through with the Paddle Stars, you can't get through with the Piltover Peacemakers. And EDG, you can see Jiejie threatening a flank at all points in time, but at least BLG now can sit in their base and safely try and push these waves.
And I love that Scout's holding off to a wing here, ready for Scout of the Week to set up for EDG to end this game number 2. That's some good warning for BLG, will be spotted out by Meiko thanks to the lens. Wave pushing in here, but another part is, Dagda, to attack the base, you need to go through the Caitlyn trap. So one lane at a time for EDG will not work, but they move to mid. This is a good transition.
Exactly, and those Caitlyn traps are now down. Takes a little while for them to reset, but the towers, they don't get a chance to reset here.
Shirelli is used for movement speed, that pushes them towards the turret. As it drops down, EDG now have an open inhibitor. FoFo heads forward, still with the Banshee's Veil feeling safe, which has been taken away by Hope alongside the Guardian of XinMo. Battlestar's not doing too much to Jiejie, and he has some health regen. So, look at that minion go. Here we go. Walk forward. Hope's like, I can do it. And down goes the inhibitor.
And now we conga line our way back towards that bottom lane, where Xiaoxiang once again is shoved in this wave. EDG looking confident as that stun will land.
Ooh, death sentence again. A little bit short, but close. 4 of EDG stay. Jiejie sticks mid. And Hope's just going to walk forward. Trouble Bubble's not connecting means Hope's happy. Gentle arrow onto FoFo. He doesn't have the Banshee's Veil. He cleanses away. Flashes away as well. Now with those summoners available. Trouble Bubble onto Scout is good, but the inhibitor goes down. The team blocks for him in Xiaoxiang. And EDG can just walk away. The base in tatters. EDG up 8,000 gold at 32 minutes into the game. And moments away from clearing out a 2-0 and knocking down BLG.
And only 2 towers remain on that top side as well, so EDG will take a little bit more time to work their way through those top lane structures, but either way, you've got super creeps now pouring in mid, pouring in through bot lane. And when you've got Elder Dragon in just 2 minutes, it feels like EDG are poised to take this game 2 and push themselves towards that victory and one more step on the path towards a potential playoffs.
It feels really bad when you're FoFo in this game and you're going up against Mountain Soul. You know, when you're a Zoe, you want to burst and you're like, well, I am not really as impactful anymore. People like Jiejie, Xiaoxiang shouldn't be threatened here by FoFo. And people like Hope get a little bit more resistances here. He's onto his 4th item. The rapid fire cannon picked up now. So double Zeal with the Infinity Edge. A lot of power given. I was confused for a second because Wings has the upgraded Infinity Edge, not 2. As EDG are grouping up the top side. Baron buff has now expired, but they don't care. Forward they go.
A BLG with no more Baron to deal with can actually clear these waves relatively easily. So it is just hang on for a minute as EDG tried to get bot and mid, creating pressure onto the base of BLG as that dragon starts to spawn. Hope a little bit of poke out here from Wings.
He's been really confident this game as an Ashe AD carry who, isn't the one with the Tahm Kench. Nice to see Hope getting back into form, right? Even if it is, it could be too late in the future. As they're going to push in a turret under threat. Trundle actually does connect, though. EDG grouping up the cleanse used. Sorry, QSS, I should say. No, sorry, it was Mikhail's.
Third time's the
charm. Yes, it is.
Hey, but either way, EDG, they're still pushing in. Super Creeps are barreling into the mid lane. Already half health on that Nexus turret. 20 seconds until Elder Dragon's up and EDG rotating across. Potential pick onto Kingen.
Oh no, if Kingen dies here, Elder could just be given over for free. 15 seconds and here we go. Waiting for the Bellows Breath for the stun. Showstopper still available. Call the Forge God won't be used. Kingen tries to escape out, flashes out. The smite's there, but BLG follows through. Now they want to fight with the numbers advantage, but with Meiko and Hope joining in. It's a full 5-on-5 in the bottom lane. We bay ramming, but Elder is up now and available.
Call of the Forge God being taken away from BLG in this engagement means so much, though. That's their big engage, too, as Xiaoxiang.
Gets the trouble over, though. Too far away. Sorry, the blast cone, I should say. And here we go.
And look at where the creeps are. You've already got super creeps in the base of BLG. That can take that last, well, not that last, but that Nexus turret that's already kind of low.
Well, base or Elder? EDG having fun with time here. Here come the minions as FoFo tries to push his way forward. 5k on this Elder Dragon. Jiejie still in the back of the pit. Showstopper used onto 4. That's a 5-man face breaker. Game over, BLG. Park it away. Because Elder's just been given away. Scout running forward. Melee Syndra, dude. This guy doesn't care because he knows this game is in the back pocket. Xiaoxiang going golden, trying to survive from Wings, who's doing a bit of damage, but Hope even flashes forward. And onto the Elder they will resume as BLG are left with 3.
They are kind of low, though. FoFo can still put a decent amount of poke down, although, as I say that, looks like they're all just going to back away. They want nothing more to do with this, as they've got to deal with this base.
Yes, they do. And what was a worthy attempt from BLG may come crashing down. A 5-man showstopper, not something you see every day. But Elder now in the back pocket, a 10k gold lead, 36 minutes into the game.
Baron as well.
Baron will make the cherry look so gleaming.
Yeah, they're just going to be able to run over here. And as you said, this from Jiejie, the flash forward, 5-man face breaker, sets up for the stolen away call the Forge God. How do you even attempt to survive that as BLG? They wanted to play at range, well, you don't get that chance when Jiejie's in the game.
That should have been like a full ace. Props for BLG to survive. 3 members. As Baron goes down, we got a 12k gold lead. Let's stop talking about gold.
It doesn't matter. You got Baron buff, Elder buff, 2 inhibitors down. Yeah, they're respawning, but EDG just waltz into the base of BLG right now. Kick back those 2 inhibitors, saying, no, these structures don't get to stand, and neither do your hopes of continuing forward in this series.
It's like if you walk into KFC and they say, do you want popcorn chicken with this meal? And you think, what a ridiculous question. Of course I do. That's like asking us if the game is over. Of course it is. What a ridiculous question. Never put that forward. Also, anyone out there who doesn't like popcorn chicken, you're fooling yourself. I don't care if it's made from, it's still great.
Doesn't matter.
It's great. It's chicken.
We do
in whatever form.
Popcorn chicken baguettes in Ireland.
Baguettes?
Delicious. Baguette,
really?
Crack it open, bit of ketchup, slide on your chicken popcorn in there. It is divine. Yeah, we're not particularly healthy in Ireland when it comes to food.
Hey, that's okay. Popcorn chicken baguette. Oh my god. Well, inhibitors at the ready. They just break like glass at this point as they shatter down as Xiaoxiang destroys them. But the Baron buff with minion waves channeling in. EDG want to end this one.
Look, I mean, how do you try and stop this? Try and Xiaoxiang here.
Xiaoxiang, he absconds and ducks forward, now connects onto the support in the back line. Hard to kill with that arrow laid down. Jiejie takes them into the fountains. There you go. A quick recovery for you. Or retreat. Nexus laid bare, Elder execute, and EDG with a 2-0. to smash down BLG and knock them out of LPL Summer and keep their own dreams alive in the same regard.